and those who went to SuperWow, the chaperone, and don't help out in any way when I invite you to come up. It's been a really spiritual week for us. We've been physically depleted, but spiritually renewed. And on fire for God, we just thank God for everyone that was. Y'all just line up across the front right here. I can stretch out this way, some go this way, everybody can't go on this side, praise the Lord. It's been a very impactful week. It's been a very positive and influential week as the Holy Spirit has worked in among our young people and in that place, and it was inhabited with the presence of God because the praise of God was there. A lot of worship going on in that place, and a lot of young people gave their life to the Lord. We had some in our group that was saved and born again. We had a lot that rededicated their life to the Lord, that found that place again that they were missing, that they had gotten away from God. But it's been a very, very spiritually renewing week, and we just want to say thank you to our church family. We want to say thank you for what you've done and for all the work that's gone into this event and everything that was allowed to happen this week. It does not go unnoticed, and it will always be remembered. And we appreciate our church family. We appreciate you and the sacrifice that you make, and we want to encourage you to continue to be a positive enforcement and encouragement to these young people. Lift them up in the Lord. Ask God just to work through them mightily. We invite you, we challenge you to be a mentor and example to these young people, to do what it is that God's called you to do, so they can follow you in footsteps and know what it means to walk with the Lord, what it means to serve the Lord, what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. I want to invite any of them that feel led to come and share with you right now how impactful this week was for them. If they will, just to come, and you're going to have to come to the mic because they're not going to be able to hear you any other way. So if you feel led, just come to the mic in the middle and share, and then step back and give somebody else an opportunity to share. Okay? All right.
Testing. Y'all hear me? My name's Craig, some of you know me, some of you don't. This was my first experience coming to SuperWow. I'm really thankful for Miss Melinda and Miss Brenda for praying and just asking me to come. That was something big for me. And I really appreciate that, and I thank y'all for that. But anyway, there's a couple of things I took away from SuperWow. I'm just going to name one or two. One of them, well, first of all, it was an experience for me. I was overwhelmed a little bit when I first got there. I didn't know what to do, or I just had to follow for a little while before I could really try to leave my house, I guess. But I just had to understand how the process and everything worked. But once I figured it out, it went pretty smooth. It was real tiresome. I'm tired this morning. I told Chester this morning I'm really exhausted today. I'm ready to, if you don't take me a nap this afternoon. But first of all, one thing I took from it was life is choices. You make a choice about certain things. Everything you do is a choice. But when you make a choice, it's going to have consequences. You can make a choice to get angry or be happy. You can make a choice to be jealous or not jealous. Or you can make a choice to be just envious or whatever. But just remember, they all have consequences. It's simple. You either gonna live your life. My wife Chastity, I know all y'all know her. She teaches me a lot. She's my disciple at home sometimes because I need guidance sometimes, and I need discernment. Man, she is so full of Jesus, and I love her so much for her. She lives her life simple. Like she said, Craig, it's simple. You make a choice. You want to live happy or you want to live sad. You want to get angry, or you want to sit in your pity and just be frustrated that the devil take your joy from you, or you want to sit up there and pick your head up and say, no, devil, you ain't gonna win today. Move forward. Amen. And that's how my life lives. My wife lives. I know some of y'all think she's out there. That's my rock here on this earth. God put me with her for a reason. I love her so much. The second thing I took away was Thursday night we had devotion. And we was all in the house. It was the boys and girls together. again, again, it's all new to me, but by that time I kind of understand what was going on. But just to see kids stand up and kids that wasn't even really, you don't see in our church a lot, but they come. And just the boldness and just for them to be able to stand up and just to be able to talk and tell what their struggles are. But if I learn, these children have struggles. And it ain't childlike struggles, it's struggles we all deal with as adults. And just for them to have the boldness and the courage just to stand up and say it. Meant a lot to me, and it opened my eyes. I thought, Lord, we ain't almost a struggle here. These kids are struggling. Some of them are struggling with real struggles. But if I could tell them one thing, struggles, like I said in Sunday school, struggles are going to give you two options. It's either going to turn you to Jesus or it's going to turn you away from him. And I pray that they will turn to Jesus for their struggles, because I'll tell you why. Jesus will help you find the root cause of his struggle. Let his love and his mercy, just let it heal you. That's what our Jesus does. And I read something in a book. Actually, it was in a footnote of my Bible. It was saying, struggles are a reason. Struggles happen for a reason. Struggles will lead to perseverance. Perseverance means you're going to keep pushing forward. You're going to keep pursuing God. You're going to say, you know what, God, we're going to get through this. You're going to keep praying. You're going to study. You're going to seek answers. But I think that perseverance is going to turn into character. Jesus is going to shape us and mold us and make us the person he wants to be to fulfill his purpose. And then I think that character is going to lead into hope. Jesus Christ is our hope. Without him, there is no hope. But that's basically what I got. I love all of y'all. And I hope I get to go in next year.
Good morning, guys. I actually have a song I'm not going to speak. So. Okay. This past week we had a band that led worship, and it was Ben Robbins and a crew of musicians. And one thing that he was very adamant about is there's no expiration date on music, and that the songs and the hymns that are sitting in the chairs were wrote with the same love and the same passion that the songs that are played on Caleb today were written with. And it's amazing to think that songs that were written decades or even hundreds of years ago were written with the same love that people still have today, and that the love for him and the passion for God has lasted that long, and that it can last twice as that long. And over the week we learned about being better, and one thing over the week I just realized that God is great. And so this is an old hymn that all of y'all probably know. So if y'all want to sing along, if y'all want to stand, if you want to stay seated, it's up to y'all. But just let's praise the Lord. Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hand hath made, the stars. I hear the rolling thunder that died throughout the universe display. And then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think of God, His Son, not sparing, sent Him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross, my burden gladly bearing, He bled and died to take away my sin. And then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When Christ shall come with shouts of acclamation and lead me home, what joy shall fill my heart? Then I shall bow with humble adoration and then proclaim, my God, how great you are. And then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. How great thou art, how great thou art. How great thou art, how great thou art.
Good morning. First of all, I want to start out by saying thank you to all of you who made all of this possible, from your donations, from your prayers, to your time that you have invested in us. And I want to say thank you to Lori for singing that song, and thank you for your obedience, because that was beautiful. Because this week, one thing that really stuck out to me was the fact that I got to worship God with all of these people around me. And it wasn't just like, one or two people raising their hands during the song. It was every single day. I got to do life with these people, and I got to see them worship God. And that's one of the most rewarding things in the world. And in our seminar groups, we, the 11th and 12th graders, had the privilege of one day we got to sit with the band and talk with them and ask them questions. And they're some of the most humble people that I've ever met in my life. They said, don't see us up here because it's not about us. And one of the questions was, what is worship to you? And the piano player, his name was Cornelius, he answered, and he said, the simplest way that I can tell you what worship is that there's always worship going on in heaven. The angels and the people in heaven are constantly singing, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. They're constantly praising and worshiping God. And it's kind of like the radio, he said. He said, there's always that satellite coming through, there's always that signal, but you have to turn on the radio. He said, what we do up here is we simply turn on the radio for you. He said, that's what we do. We turn on the radio so you can praise and worship God. And I just want to challenge all of you to praise God every day in your lives because He is so very worthy of our praise. I challenge you to not only praise Him, whenever you're sitting in church when the song is playing, but I challenge you to praise Him in the hard times, whenever you're going through a storm, or praise Him even when you can't feel Him because He's still there. He's never left you.
Okay. For one thing, I know some of y'all wondering why I ain't wearing no shoes. And the speaker at SuperWow, his name was Wade Morris, and every time he would get up and preach, he wouldn't wear no shoes. And everybody would laugh at him. And so it just seems like he had to wear no shoes today. So yeah. And then Thursday night, it was actually a great night. I got saved, and but before I got saved, I was like a little bad kid. I would get in trouble almost every time on the bus, and then I had to talk to this police officer, and he was a good man. And then that night, I was thinking about it, and so I dedicated my life to Jesus, and then I started thinking about it and said, and in my mind I was thanking that police officer for leading me the right way. So wherever you are, thank you.
I had a kid, couldn't be here today, and he sent me something to read for him. He had to go to another church camp for a week. So he's not lagging off, he's going to another church camp. But I would like to say, on behalf of all of us, thank you, church. Thank you, church. We cannot ever tell you we love you enough or how much we love you. Brother Damon and Sister Faye, thank you. They don't even have to go with anymore, but every time we have to sell Boston butt tickets or pork chop plates or anything, they always help me. So, thank you for buying the Boston butts, and thank you for buying the pork chop plates. Thank you for baking the cakes when we do the SCA banquet. Thank you for loving all of these kids all the time. Thank you for that. You're the best church ever. We were in our seminar one morning, and we can talk and ask questions and ask for prayer about things, and there was more than one church that said what you do when you have no support from your church. No support for your young people from your church. Christy stood up and asked before we left if we could pray for that church. We have always had just the opposite, all the support in the world that we could ever even think about having, that you've poured your lives into these lives in every way, and I thank you for that. I want you to be praying about something. This is the last year we can be at Jekyll Island. They've been trying to shut the SuperWow out there for years, since the expansion, since they built the new center. and they have done it. 2018, we will not be able to go back. But I know God has a plan. He always does. We have a couple of choices. We can go north to Toccoa, or we can go south to Fort Walton. We carry a lot of people when we go. We carry a lot of other people's kids, honestly. Taylor and them have a Bible study group, and he's invested a lot in them, and a lot of these kids come from that Bible study. We've never turned a kid down that somebody asked us to take them from somewhere. I had one man to say, the church I had missed their camp, can you please take my daughter? God has always blessed us to do, and He has used you to finance in so many ways. We need the Lord's will in this, where we go. So I need you to be praying about it. I was 14 years we had been over at Jekyll Island, and seen a lot of kids go through that camp with us. But we had a vision to go there, and God had shut the door on the vision. One morning, He asked another question, and He said, how many of you in here in this adult seminar have a vision for your church? There was 3 of us on my pew from Flat Creek, and we all raised our hand, everyone was. And there might have been 2 more. I was so shocked. I said, how could you not have a vision for you young people? My mind's always ticking like a clock. For something, for the Lord to speak to us, to show us, to lead us, to direct us, what's in the future, what you're going to do, or what we're going to do, where we're going to do. I mean, it's just always, that's the way my mind works, is what do you want to do with us, Lord? Show us what you want to do, what you want us to do next. Catch that vision, people. Catch that vision. God is He's not through with Flat Creek in youth camps. He's not through with Flat Creek anywhere. He's not through with Flat Creek impacting our community. We've just begun. We have a vision. I know you. I know you do. I'm going to read Nathan's text to me this morning. I think Nathan's my adopted grandchild, so anyway. He said, I'm sorry that I'm not able to be here at church with you, but I have another church camp that I'm going to this week. It's been a little over 2 years since I've been coming to this church, and I'm so glad that I came. Y'all have done so much to make me feel comfortable, more than any other church I've ever been to. This year at SuperWow has been something, with guys in the house, the time at the missions, at the nursing home. And he said, and I did the fun run. He said, that's a 2-mile run in case y'all don't know. And he said, I bet that was a shock to everyone that old Nate, someone who is all into sports, did something like that. No one ever thought that he would do it. But I ran it, and what I got out of it was sore legs. And that we put all we got into serving Jesus and cross that finish line for His glory. I want to thank y'all for loving on kids like Nate. Because Nate's found a home here. He loves you, and he really appreciates being part of this church.
I just want to thank everybody for helping us out to go to SuperWow. This is my first year ever going to SuperWow. I just want to say it was a great experience, and me and a little man got saved Thursday night. It was And my entire life, I felt like I was just missing something. And Thursday night, I found the peace and it was gone. And thank y'all.
Hello? Okay. Thursday, I rededicated my life to Jesus. I was talking to Gucci and Colton, everybody on the football team, that when I get back, that we need to share Jesus and show everybody the love that everybody's missing out on. Because he loves everybody unconditionally. I mean, whatever you do, he loves you. Like, no matter what you do, he will never ever stop loving you. And I also want to thank the Strickland family, especially Miss Strickland, even though I don't know where she's at. Okay. I really thank her staying on me every day, asking me, because I didn't want to come to SuperWow this year. Even though that's my second year. I didn't want to feel like coming. But she stayed on me every day and asking me and begging me to come to SuperWow. And I kept saying no, and then I finally just said, okay, I'll show up, I'll come. And I really thank Ms. Strickland and Mr. Strickland for staying on me every day to come to SuperWow, because this is the best week I had. This was way better than last year. I came last year and I got saved Tuesday, June 26th with Dalton. Whatever. Him got saved on the same day. And last year I got saved, but I mean, I was on fire, but when I came back, I wasn't the same. And this year was totally different for me. I was rededicated Thursday, and I was. Can't find a word for it, but it was just special. It was amazing to know God still loves me after all I did, all the mistakes and stuff I did. He still loves me. I thank y'all, man. I thank all y'all for being here for me. Y'all amazing. My brothers and sisters. I love all y'all. I thank y'all.
I just want to first say thank you for everybody that made this possible, and I'll start off by saying me and God talked all week long, and we cleared up a lot of things about my calling and stuff, and one thing I feel led to say is we're on His time clock, not ours. Last year at SuperWow, I rededicated my life June 29th, 2016, and He revealed to me what my calling was, and I thought, okay, we'll just jump straight into this. That's not how it works. He showed me it's baby steps. You have to go step by step by step. You have to first do something before you do the next thing until you get to your final destination or your final place, what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And he told me this week, if you can't minister to the ones you love and you see every day, and you can't lead them to Jesus, then how are you supposed to lead others to Jesus that, first of all, can't speak English, that know nothing about Him, and that you don't know at all? And another thing is, as I look back, some of y'all may know me, I'm now Coach Emily. I coach 12-year-old girls, and they've been the biggest blessing in my life. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be as far along as I am. They've taught me a lot more than I could ever teach them. And that's all I've got. It's just cool.
I'm not a very good public speaker, but I to let y'all know that we brought the basketball championship home to Flat Creek. Coach Kyle, we really miss you being there, and I wish you could have been there. But I just want to start out by talking about how much I love SuperWow. My 7th grade year, that's where I gave my life to Christ, and it always holds a special place for me because that's where I fell in love with Jesus. And this leading up to SuperWow, I kept I was praying for God to speak to me at SuperWow. And I was praying that if it would be in His will that He would use me, and I've just been praying for that I would take the step to not just be like people pouring into me, but that I would be obedient to what God would call me to do and things. And it was Thursday night, and we were sitting there and we were worshiping. I was sitting there singing the song, and then I opened my eyes for a split second, and it was like, and God was like, I want you to go pray with him, with this person. And, I kind of put it off. I was like, nah, God, I'm sitting here trying to worship you, man. You want me to go pray with that, man? And but he was like, I want you to go pray with him. And I put it off for like a song or two. And God spoke to me, spoke to my heart. He's like, Trey, when am I going to be able to count on you to be obedient to what I tell you to do? If I can't trust you with a little thing like going to pray for somebody, how am I ever going to be able to trust you with a big thing? And so I went and prayed with him, but I would just kind of like to leave y'all with that. Can God trust you to do what He wants you to do when He tells you to do it?
Hey y'all. I just wanted to say this. I didn't think I was going to speak, but the Lord really laid this on my heart. And I just want to tell y'all to always obey the Lord, because one night we were having our worship service and it was altar call, and I was really the Lord had been working on my heart that whole night, and I just really felt like I needed to pray for this person, and I was really close to this person, and I just didn't know how they were going to take it. I didn't want to offend them or just do anything wrong, but the Lord was really pressing on my heart to pray for this person. So, and we weren't even sitting near each other, I don't know, I walked out right when it started, and I went and grabbed her, and I went and prayed with her, and the Lord has worked in her life this week, and I really just don't know if the Lord had worked like that, if I had not done that, and I just want y'all to always do what He tells you to do, and always follow His heart and His will for your life and the lives around you. And don't just be caught up in yourself, and don't always ask, what's your will for my life? Ask, what's your will and what's your greater purpose, and how do I need to spread you? And that's all I have.
Alright. Well, God also used me to pray for somebody else. There's this random girl beside me, and I felt in my heart like I needed to pray for her. And I prayed to God, not with her yet, but I prayed to God. I was like, God, if this be your will for me to pray for her, let her go to the altar right now or something. And right when I prayed that, the girl goes off to the altar. And I was like, I don't really want to. I was like, I don't know. I was nervous to pray for her. But then I saw her talking to her sister, because it looked like her, and I knew it was her sister. And it was after everything was done, and then it didn't convict me so much that I had to. So I asked her sister to take her to me, or no, take me to her. And I went over there and I prayed for her. And we came home, and that night, the same night, I got a text message from that girl. I really didn't know her, but she was in my group, and she said that she prayed for a sign, so I was her sign. And I just want to tell y'all, if God puts it on you to do something, you need to do it, because it's an amazing feeling when you do it. So that's what I
Of course, he went up there that I didn't go up there. So, guy really was convicting me back there, telling me to go up there, and he just looked at me and said, you can go. And I was like, no, my voice sounds weird on the microphone. So, here it goes. The entire week of SuperWow, I didn't even plan to have anything to do with God. I just wanted to go there because my friends were there, honestly. So the whole entire week, I said, no, God, no. Because he was just tugging on my heart. And I just crossed my arms and wouldn't let it happen. Thursday night come, the preacher man, Wade, he called for anybody who felt that they needed to go talk to someone and rededicate their life or get saved or something. And God was like, go. I just felt it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to. So the time was up, and I was like, if I die today, I'm going to heaven. I can't. And I just started crying. And the band came up by then and started singing. I'm gonna call her out, but Gwenny, she was standing right next to me. She grabs my arm and she was like, will you please come pray with me? But that time she already grabbed my arm, so I couldn't say no. And she told me, she asked me if I would go pray with her. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I went there and I started praying for her. And then I heard this person next to me. Just this person. I don't even know who it was. They just said, God, I'm so broken. I need you. And I just lost it right there. I was like, other people feel that way too. And I couldn't feel that way anymore. And I rededicated my life. And I got myself a new bicycle. So you can go ask Miss Christie about that or me, and I'll tell you all about it.
I've been in church all my life. Like, usually it's like, I feel like the target's to the new Christians, like, hey, you need to be saved to then do what God needs you to do. But like this week, it was really like, I felt it a lot like, hey, you're already a Christian, but you need to actually live for me. Like, it was a lot more like, you need to rededicate for me. And Gucci actually had a quote that really spoke to me, and it was like, to become comfortable with being a Christian, you have to become uncomfortable with the world. And like that blew my mind. I was like, he's a genius, but I'm like, I know that guy. And it was just like, it was like you have to live for the Lord, and not like, it's not just a bunch of rules. It's like a lifestyle, and like you have to be His. Like, He's not yours, you're His when you're living for Him. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hello. So, Miss Shasta had asked us one night at devotion with just the girls. She's like, why did you come to SuperWow? And I was like, answers. I need some answers from God right now. And the real thing was better. And last night I was just reading through my Bible, and I was reading somewhere in Proverbs. And I saw the word better, and I was like, ooh, let's see what this is about. And I can't quote it. Okay, well, it says something like, Better is a poor man who walks with integrity than a rich man who walks in crooked ways. And I guess you could see that as, talking about money, but I saw it kind of talking more about the losses in life and how when you're poor, it seems like you lose a lot, And I guess I felt like recently I've been losing a lot. And I just really wanted God to tell me why things were happening. Not necessarily because I was doubting Him, but because I wanted to use what had happened to me to His glory, but it was just too painful at the moment to not understand why and to be able to use it at the same time. So He answered my prayer last night by telling me it's better to be poor and to lose in life and to go through it is better to go through things and to be poor in the world and to walk with integrity and rather to be rich and walk in crooked ways. So I just really want to praise God and thank Him for answering my prayer this week.
So when we were at SuperWow Monday night, the person that was speaking said, if you do not know that you know that you know that you're going to heaven when you die, come forward and we'll pray and you'll go to the back and talk about it. In my heart, he kept saying, Casey, you gotta do this now. I was like, no, I'm too scared, no. So I didn't do it. And the next night, he asked that same question. It got in my heart again, Casey, you really have to do this. So I went up there and I went in the back and I didn't see anyone from my church at first. So I got to a group with all these people and they lived kind of near here. And the lady that was talking to me, she gave me this story about something that happened to her and related to me. And as soon as she started talking about it, she told me what all happened to her. I just started to bawl. Actually, I haven't told anyone this yet, but she helped me rededicate my life Tuesday night. And then I felt a hand on my shoulder, and it was Miss Stephanie Newber. And I went over there with them, and they prayed with me. And I just want to say thank you to helping me rededicate my life and realize that I really do need help from God to live my life. So thank you.
Sorry for becoming already emotional before I even start talking, but my whole life I've been kind of doing the bare minimum for Christ. And over the past two events you guys had, Disciple Now and SuperWow, just hanging out with everyone here and just getting to know everyone. All the walls that I've been building up my entire life to come crumbling down. And I'm just so much more open to everything. I just want to say thank you guys for everything. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, on behalf of all of us back here, I want to personally say thank you for everything y'all did as a church. For giving us a chance to get a super change and God changing lives. I know our house, we had a great time this week. I know everybody had a great time this week. I know that I kept my boys up late, but you know, it's all good. But I want to, as a church, I felt like just because we're gone from SuperWow, doesn't technically mean that we can't have SuperWow here. We can have SuperWow as one. This is our church and this is my church family. So I don't see nothing. I mean, SuperWow, honestly, me, just got started. I mean, we can bring it over here. I mean, as God's people, we can start an earthquake, the spiritual earthquake that Brother Bez's been talking about. We can start an earthquake in Nashville. And it can take over, and we can do, that's what God called us for. We can do so much more for the Lord. And I just want to end off on this. Like, you know, Coach Paul always has something to end off on, you know, some food for thought. Do you know that you know if today you die, that you go to heaven? Just let that sit there, and thank y'all so much for being grateful to me. I mean, y'all took me in, like Tracy said, I came to SuperWow in the 7th grade. Y'all took me in, y'all fed me spiritually, y'all fed me, I mean, even physically, y'all fed me too. So I can't thank y'all enough. I love y'all so much, and SuperWow just got started out. Thank you.
I did not want to come up here, but Layla Colleen kept looking at me. Hold on, I get it. Okay, this whole week I had really struggled and I didn't want to come. But I have struggled trying to get right, and it's been really, really hard, and I've been going through family problems, and my grandmommy got back, and I really didn't want her coming back, because I really had so much fun over there, and every day we got closer and closer to God, and I didn't want it to end. And then we got back, and I was talking to Grandma, and she was saying that when you come back, you're supposed to bring it back with you. You're supposed to leave it there. And when you come home, you're supposed to keep God in your heart. You're not supposed to let Him go. And no matter where you go in life, He's always there by your side. And when we were at the nursing home, there's this lady that I was pushing around. And had her best friend, and we were talking. I asked her, did she have any visitors lately? And she said, no, I was the first one, because after her family put her there, they left her there. And then I was saying, she was talking to me, and she was saying that God's always there with her. And then she started saying that. I started crying, and then she was like, you know, God's got you. And then she started talking to me about her family, and then when she was we got back to the nursing home, and we went to the car. We got back, and that afternoon we went to the conference center, and then we went to the altar, and then it was me, Natalie, Colleen, and Layla that Cindy. All went up there, and then I just started crying, and then when we started going, me and Casey and I really wasn't like best friends, and we really wasn't close. And then when she came up there, I started crying because I heard her praying, and SuperWow, my grandma would ask us, how good it was, like what we got out of it and all that. And I don't get to tell her that this year. I don't. I have a feeling that they got to celebrate. I've been happy. All the things we overcame, all of these people who gave their life to Jesus or rededicated their life, I like to think that they were up there celebrating. And I don't know, I just got to thinking how they get to be in Jesus' presence all the time. How great that must be to be able to celebrate there. And I want to be able to bring them the same celebration and joy that they have in heaven. And I want to celebrate like that and be so excited about Jesus like that, like down here. I mean, that can happen. We can have parties for Jesus down here. And so, I don't know, this is...
I'm Lance. I've been to SuperWow about 3 or 4 times, and the different one about this time was about 2 days before we came here. I was diagnosed with a bad case of tonsillitis, and my mom was like, "Oh, maybe you should stay home." I was like, "No, man, tonsillitis ain't gonna hurt me." About 2.5 days in, it really started hitting me really bad. But I do remember at one point, Tuesday night, at the Boone Robbins band, I haven't really been able to eat all night. And I could feel the Lord really pouring into me, and that was really the only time that I didn't feel pain in my throat when I felt the Lord in my heart. So just know you let the Lord in my heart, He'll take the pain away.
I filled in on Wednesday at Mark's house and Johnny's house, and I told these boys when I started we're going to have our scrambled eggs and chopped tomatoes for breakfast. And I looked around after I told them that. Anyway, they got by without that because Mark and I ate the tomatoes up for tomato sandwiches for 2 meals. And Mark had to pull out. Up to then, he'd sort of babied him and mothered him and cooked for him every meal. And I told him I was more of a microwave man. They pretty well on their own since he left. It worked out good, and love comes in different forms. And it kind of could get extreme sometimes. And when Gucci tore his right toenail off on his right foot, big toenail, big toe. So Emily would have to doctor him. I thought that was pretty extreme. But that occurred anyway along the way. I will tell y'all that I'm really impressed with these young people we got here in the SuperWow. And you think, I did, thank you. So busy with daily activities, you can't devote enough time to the Lord and to get close enough to Him, work with Him, work for Him like you ought to, because you got all these other daily activities in your way and taking up your time and you concentrating on it. You got bills to pay, you got all this stuff coming in, and you do. But if you really want an opportunity to set that to the side, it's real simple. Go to SuperWow. Go to SuperWow. Because all that's set aside. SuperWow is worship. Really, 4 or 5 times a day, like they said. And that makes a big difference. I went to SuperWow 15, 17 years ago. I can't remember now. Kayla went a long time ago. And Brenda asked me every year since then if I was going back, and I didn't go, couldn't go, had all kinds of other reasons to go, but can't keep telling her no. You know? So anyway, she sort of came in the back door with me and got me hemmed up this time and said, if somebody couldn't go or needed to fill in, would I go? And I told her, well, if you can't get anybody else to go, I'll go. And guess what? She couldn't get anybody else to go. So anyway, somebody did have to cancel out, and I think it was Johnny maybe. I was taking his place on Wednesday, so I went on Wednesday. And it was wonderful, just absolutely wonderful. Matter of fact, Brenda, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, like I think MacArthur said when he left Bataan, said, I shall return. Well, I shall return next week. And if any of the rest of you want to experience what I just said for real, it's there. It's available. It's not something way out you can't get your hands on. Make some time. Make arrangements. Go to SuperWow. I think you'll be thoroughly blessed. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to the church for allowing this group to be able to go and for us to be able to pour into your kids. You know, like the Judge said, you know, you spend 4-5 times of worship, but then you spend a lot of quality time in the houses with these kids. You know, it's about pouring Jesus into them. But I did learn something this week. I'm a beggar. And I can say I'm a beggar because when you got a house of 15, 16, 18-year-olds, you'll beg everybody around you for some extra food. But we're always running out. So I learned how to be a beggar. But you know, I thought about Wade said one thing, and I come back and read it. Jesus asked Peter, he said, do you love me? He said, Lord, you know I love you. He said, well, feed my sheep. And I just want to tell you this morning, the Lord spoke into my heart and said, this is our sheep. We need to feed them. Just because they got 5 or 6 meals a day over there, don't mean they can't get 5 or 6 meals a day here. You know, we need to take this group of young people under our wings, like people took us under their wings, and we need to be able to feed them spiritually. So I tell you again, we got to feed our sheep. Jesus said, feed the sheep. I appreciate this group of young people. This is a compassionate, loving group of kids. You can sit back and watch other churches come and go. But if you could experience not only them worshiping, but you could experience them loving on one another. Loving on one another, crying, praying on one another. That's something that forever will be engraved in my heart, is the way these kids are compassionate. Again, thank you for what you do for these young people.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a great Sunday. And this was my first time going to SuperWow, and I had a lot of fun. It's like indescribably really fun, and I'm glad that we got to go this year to Jekyll. And I thank everyone that let me encourage me to go. And that's it.
Hey guys, I know this one. I know pretty good. I just want to share with what I got from SuperWow this year. You know, coming into SuperWow this year, this is my fourth or fifth year, I think. And you know, this year was pretty special because coming into SuperWow, you know, I felt alone and you know, I was in a bad place. But, you know, I took away from it that, you know, even though, you know, we went as as Flat Creek and all these other churches went, you know, at the end of the day, with all the different churches there, you know, we weren't, you know, Flat Creek and Ebenezer and all these other churches. We were just one body of Christ. And seeing all of us come together, you know, like this one church I met, you know, they don't really know much about me, but, you know, in the time where they seen I was down, and when my family seen I was down, you know, they still came and prayed with me and comforted me. And, you know, that's encouraging, that's uplifting, that's something that lifts the spirit and like helps you thrive to keep going, because you know that if you start to fall, you got people that will pick you back up. And, you know, I just want to say I thank God for the family that I've got, the family that I've made. I just want to say I love y'all, and I thank y'all for supporting us and all that we do.
Good morning, how are y'all? I didn't even plan on speaking because this is totally y'all said. But I just want to speak on part of SuperWow staff. This is my second year being on SuperWow staff, and the Lord has just really just showed me this year how faithful He is. I don't know why I get nervous talking in front of y'all. I teach not 10th graders, but this year has been really, really hard for me. Doing SuperWow. I just was really discouraged this whole summer. Losing Miss Betty and and not being at Jekyll. And I remember the Lord really spoke to me the morning of Miss Betty's funeral. Because I really, really wanted to go. But I remember how passionate and loving Miss Betty was. For SuperWow, she loved every single one of y'all. And the Lord just told me that I needed to stay there at SuperWow. And I just know that Miss Betty wanted me to be there. I know that she was proud of me, and I know that she was with me throughout the whole time. And this summer has just been really, really cool because the Lord has just been teaching me patience, and it's really ironic because we're learning about Moses and how, you know, it took the Lord 40 years to mold Moses and shape Moses into the person that He wanted him to be. And I just want to encourage y'all because each and every single one of y'all are leaders, and each and every one of y'all have somebody looking up to you. And in the book of Exodus, or in Numbers, or chapter 12, verse 3, it talks about how Moses was one of the most humblest people. And we have to humble ourselves because in Exodus, you have a Joshua, and there's a Joshua looking up to you. And so I just encourage y'all to live a life worth following. There's people at your schools, there's people here looking up to you, there's older people looking up to you. Like last year, how we talked about Timothy and how we talked about Paul and how Paul poured in to Timothy and how much Timothy looked up to Paul. Each and every one of you have a Timothy or a Joshua in your life. And I just encourage you not just to have that burning sensation of the Lord at SuperWow, because God's still the same. God's the same at SuperWow, God's the same here, God's the same at your school, He's the same on the rec fields, softball fields, wherever you're at. The Lord is still the same. And it's our job as a church to go out and tell people about the Lord. And it's our job to live a life worth following. Because each and every one of you do have somebody looking up to you. Because
if we're living one way and then we choose the way of the Lord and we have people following us, they're not going to know which way to go. So we have to live a life fully committed to the Lord, and we just have to surrender and humble ourselves daily and ask the Lord to just send you somebody. Like last week was really hard for me because I really wanted to be in Jekyll. And we had last week at Fort Walton SuperWow, we had a smaller group, and it was really cool because the first week of Fort Walton I had about 180 kids in my seminar class, and then last week I had about 60. And it was really cool to watch how God still used me and how God was still faithful. We put them in small groups, and we had 10 people in small groups, and how they just wanted to seek out the Lord and how they wanted to pursue the Lord fully heartedly. And I was really discouraged because when you're in a smaller group like that, I guess it's really hard for you to really get to them and just for them to open up. And so one night I just prayed. I was like, Lord, I just need one person. I was like, I'm struggling. I don't even know how I'm going to go into the seminar and teach the seminar, but I need you to send me one person. Just show me. And so that night I actually taught for Moses and how Moses was making all of these excuses and how, I can't remember what chapter it is, but I know it's verse 11, and Moses asked the Lord, who am I to go to Pharaoh? And so I kind of got to talk about my personal, some personal stuff in my life, and really connect with them and be intentional with them. And then in the next verse, in verse 12, the Lord speaks back to Moses and says, because I sent you. And it just really spoke to my heart. And I was not even going to be vulnerable to these kids, but the Lord was just like, hey, you need to tell this. And so I did, and I was putting up my stuff, and I was walking out, and I hear somebody call my name. And it was the sweetest, softest voice I ever heard. And they were just like, MJ, and I turn around and I see this girl approaching me. I mean, she is just boo-hoo crying. And she was like, I need to talk to you. And at that moment, I just wanted to break down and cry because the Lord had answered my prayer. The Lord had showed me how faithful He is, that when you ask Him for something, He's gonna show you, and He's gonna give that to you. And it was really cool because I wanted to boo-hoo cry with her, but then again, I wanted to praise the Lord for sending me somebody, because the Lord, as long as we humble ourselves and we get rid of the selfishness and the pride that we have, and we ask the Lord to use us in a way, He's going to use you. And that's something that I've learned, that even from the brokenness that we have and the baggage that we carry, as long as God, as long as we give that to the Lord, we surrender that to God, He's going to use us. And I was really encouraged just hearing each and every one of y'all, the things that y'all been through. And if there's one thing that I can leave you with, Bethany and the band this week, she sang a song, and it says, Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. And so whatever you're going through, whatever struggles you have, whatever season you're in, and you just feel like you're surrounded by all of the darkness and all of this stuff, that the Lord is going to make that tremble. He's going to make that fall, as long as you seek Him. But I just thank the church for all that you do, because a lot of times, we SuperWow staffers, we get thank yous and stuff from the church, but if it wasn't for y'all and the support and the love that y'all have for these kids, there would be no SuperWow. So I just thank you all. I appreciate you all, and I love y'all.
This is my second year going to SuperWow, and one thing that that Craig told me the last, morning we were there, he hit us with this. If Sunday is the only time that you open up the Bible, or if this is your only church, as in outside of this, you don't read the Bible, you're not really on fire for the Lord, or if SuperWow is the only 5 days that you're on fire for the Lord, then that's a religion. But if it's every day you were reading the Bible, if every day you were listening to the correct music, you're watching the right things, you're into the right stuff. That's a relationship. God doesn't want it to be a religion. He wants it to be a relationship. He wants you to be with Him. He wants you to be learning about Him. He wants you to be praising Him every single day. 365 days a year. He doesn't care what's going on in your life, because the only way to fix anything in this life is through Him. So if you're right now in a religion and it's just a religion, change that. It needs to be a relationship. It needs to be day to day, every single day. You are trying to bring it all in. You are trying to learn more. You're trying to read every day. You're trying to preach to others. You're trying to let everyone know what you learned about, what you've read about. Because something that I heard in like a sermon one time was England, 3% of the population believes that Jesus is our Savior. 3%. That's not... Now, a lot of you in here have never been to England. Probably, maybe 3 or 4 of you have been to England, if that. So you would say, oh, that's not my fault. I haven't been to England. That's Christians' fault. That's us, the people that believe that we preach out to others. If we can get Nashville on board, we can just go from there. Nashville, Valdosta, Tiffin. We got to start here. And I kind of like, that was kind of random that I just told y'all that like the whole England thing, like 3%, like you're like, what's that about? But I'm getting that to say that it's probably the same in Nashville. If you were to go into Harvey's and ask every single person you saw, now granted we're in the Bible Belt, so like people are like, oh yeah, I know him, but like I've heard about Jesus, but they're not in a relationship with Him, which is what we need to be in. We need to be in a relationship. That's all I got.
Now it's pretty ironic that I'm sitting up here the tissue guy, but I'm the same guy that'll sit there and cry right most times. But I don't know that crying is what I'm going to be doing when I'm saying this. And I mean, just take a look up here. Look at all these kids, all these people up here. Isn't this just incredible? Don't we love to see it? Now we had a SuperWow last year and the year before where we had this. But look back a few weeks ago. Where was this? How many did we see? And I'm taking this on myself as well. We have 7 people that were in my house. And I sat there, and I'm sitting in church. And one by one, each of us ran off. What are we doing to where we have this? We love this. We love seeing everybody up here. We love all these coming to church. It's amazing. It's incredible what it can do. But what are we doing? Are we praying? Are we taking in that accountability? Are we being there for them individually, every one of them? I mean, I just want us all to challenge all of us. Pray for all these up here. And to keep them here in church where they need to be able, and that's all I got.
So on Wednesday we had missions and we were at the nursing home. I go there and I was pushing this lady around in a wheelchair, and so we leave and we go over there and I give her a hug and I tell her that I had a great time with her, and she goes and she says, I love you and God bless you. And then she goes and she looks at me and she says, you're going to be rewarded greatly one day. I don't know what it's going to be for, but you're going to be rewarded greatly by God. I'll never forget that. And then the next night, we were in the conference center. And so, I see Michael walking out. He just lost it, and I ran to the altar, and I asked Haley if she would go pray with me. And then I had all of our church family come, and it's like they were all there with me. And then there was this one person I didn't even know, and they just went there and they put their hand on me. And you have more than just the people you think you have. You have people that you might not even know yet, or that you might never know, but they're always going to be there for you.
I just wanted to say thank y'all so very much for all that you do for our church, for our kids, the support that you give, the donations, the food, the money for the food, the cakes that were baked, the time that you spend in prayer. We had a wonderful, wonderful time. I got to be in the house this year with a younger group of girls. It was awesome. We had 2 new girls that went this year. This was their very first time. And I just want to say thank you again. We went over to missions. We went to the Magnolia Manor, which was an assisted living / nursing home. Got such a blessing there. We learned what a butterbean option was, and it was good. It was good. A little different, but it was good. But I just wanted to say thank you for entrusting your children with us. And thank you. Just please keep these kids in prayer. Please. I mean, some of them when they got back home, they don't have the support team. We have to be the support team. I just want to say thank you again, and we love y'all.
They make their way back to their seats. Amen. I want to thank you for being the ears this morning, the ears that hear. Thank you for your time and your attention. This happens one time a year at our church. I think it's extremely important and vitally important that we give our young people an ear, that we hear their voice. The Bible says in Psalm 107, let the voice of the redeemed of the Lord say so. Whenever you've been poured into a week and you're just soaking up Jesus and the Holy Spirit is working in your heart and in your life and your testimony is being renewed, there needs to be an opportunity for you to be vocal about it. You have an opportunity to be vocal because during prayer requests sometimes I hear you praising the Lord for what God's done. I hear your testimony in that service sometimes, but very seldom do we give them the opportunity to be vocal, opportunity to tell what the Lord's doing in their life. I want to thank you for that this morning. I want to thank you for allowing them the week that they've had with the Lord Jesus. I'm going to ask the worship band to come back up and let's get a hymn of invitation, but I want to share just a little bit with you as we go into this invitation. I had a real strong word that spoke to me today, but the word deserves due diligence. And I'm afraid that we don't have due diligence in the house today. So I'm not even going to begin to try to work that word out. But it's vitally important. But I will share this part with you. In Joshua chapter 1, the Bible says that Moses, the servant of the Lord, had died. And the Bible says that God called Joshua, who had been a minister to Moses, to rise up and to take the children of Israel and cross over into the promised land. And whenever you try to take people from a familiar place to an unfamiliar place, you're going to find struggle. You're going to find resistance. You're going to find people not wanting to go. 2.5 tribes decided they didn't want to go into the promised land. They decided they'd rather stay on the outside rather than into the promises of God. But this is what God told Joshua. He told Joshua in chapter 1 and verse 5, he said, no man shall be able to stand against thee all the days of thy life. He said, just as I was with Moses, he said, I will be with you. He said, just as I was with Moses, I will be with you. He said, I will not fail you. And he said, I will not forsake you. Whenever you understand what God was telling Joshua, Moses, the servant of God, had died. If God had needed Moses, Moses would have still been alive. If God had needed Moses to bring them into the promised land, but God was raising up Joshua. He served under Moses. Moses was the one he mentored, that mentored him, and he was ready to be used by God. I'm telling you today, these young people are ready to be used by God. They're ready to step out. They're ready to be that vessel of honor. They're ready to be the sacrifice. They're ready to crawl up on the altar. They're ready to give their lives wholeheartedly over to God. And many of them have made that commitment this week. But I want you to understand what God told Joshua. He said, just as I was with Moses, I will be with you. He didn't say, just as I did with Moses, I will do with you. He said, just as I was with Moses, I will be with you. Listen to me. God did some great things through Moses. Moses took a rod, raced it over the Red Sea, and parted his borders, parted his and then they crossed over on dry ground. Moses went before the Pharaoh of Egypt and all the 10 plagues that come down upon Egypt. Moses was used by God so mightily that many people would have thought that Joshua would have been just being used by God the same way that Moses was used by God. But that wasn't God's plan for his life. That wasn't God's plan for Joshua. That wasn't God's plan. His promise was, just as I was with Moses, I will be with you. Listen to me. God will be with you just as he was with Joshua and just as he was with Moses. But God doesn't expect you to do what Moses did. He doesn't expect you to do what Joshua did. He expects you to do what he called you to do. You don't have to be Moses. You don't have to be Joshua. You are fearfully and wonderfully made by God. You are unique to God. God isn't in the business of doing do-overs. You are an original to God. And God wants to work through your life so dramatically. He said, I'll never fail you and I'll never forsake you. The Bible said in Hebrews 13:5, the promise of God is that he'll never leave us and he'll never forsake us. God never leaves us. He never draws his presence away from us. The presence of God will always be with us. You say, how in the world, what's the difference in leaving me and forsaking me? You can forsake somebody and still be in their presence. To leave somebody is to remove your presence from them. To forsake somebody is to emotionally abandon them. I'm talking to somebody this morning, you live in a house where either your husband or your wife has emotionally abandoned you. You're living in a place where they're there in presence, but they're not there for you emotionally. And this is what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that we as adults are here in presence, but we've forsaken the body of Christ. We're not here emotionally. Our heart's not in it like it once was. We're not serving the Lord like we used to serve the Lord. We've let other things draw us away from God. Physically, we're here. Our presence is here. We sit down in the pews with our butt hurts. If your butt hurts, stand up on your feet. That's why God gave you feet. If your feet hurt, sit down on your butt. That's why God gave you a butt. But in a nutshell, I think we have emotionally abandoned. I encourage you today to get what these young people got. And the only time you're going to get it, the only way you're going to get it, is to spend time with the Lord. Away from the world. Set apart, set aside. given over to God. Everybody will stand to your feet.